Hi friends, I finally arrived at Atlantic City and I'm hanging out with my friend Shelli, who is a bodybuilder, and she is eager to meet y'all and to tell you some things about her bodybuilding prep this year.
Hi.
So this is Shelli
Beecher-Seitzler.
Beecher-Seitzler.
Yeah.
And she's competing in bodybuilding. She's been vegan for
since 2014.
Since 2014.
So.
That's 10 years. Awesome.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Almost, going on 11. I'll be 52 next year.
Yeah, and Shelli is going to be 52 next year, and she's competing in bodybuilding. You've been competing for how long?
Since 2018.
Since 2018. So you started competing at 48? 7?
No. Let's see. I was 45, and then, let's see. I'm trying to remember.
That's okay.
Because I've had my carb,
yeah, you've had your
right
carb reload and
so
your brain is foggy. So this is the perfect time for me to ask you any kind of specific question. I remember when I was competing bodybuilding, and then we were like on a cut, and I got carb load, and I was like, this is why all the jokes about bodybuilders being dumb make sense right now.
Yeah.
Like they actually make sense. So anyways,
so we're here for Mr. America.
Yeah, we're here for Mr. America, and I cannot wait for Shelli to tell you about all the things that she's doing to win this thing. Except for like secrets, because all athletes have secrets. So
yeah. Oops. So there's are we also going to talk about yours or just mine?
We can talk about mine. I talk about me all the time.
Oh, okay.
You talk about you.
Okay. Yeah. So the pro masters figure is what I'm going to be competing in. I'm not doing open this year.
Oh, why?
Well, because our teammate Maddie McConnell's going to win. We're evenly distributed in our bodybuilding team for Vegan Strong Plant Built team, where we have 6 women competing. And so I can't remember all of them, but it's figure, classic figure, and wellness with Day. And I'm doing the Masters Figure Pro.
Yeah.
And then we have amateur.
First, I'm reading this roster.
Yeah. Oh, so the roster's on here. So we have Alice that's doing bikini.
Okay.
Evelyn.
Pro bikini. Yeah.
I think
yeah,
so.
That's awesome.
And then Evelyn Santos flying in from, I forget which country. I haven't met her yet before.
But she's not American.
Right.
Awesome. +1 country.
Yeah. And then Maddie is doing the open figure pro. And then I'm doing open masters figure pro. Day is doing wellness. And Tammy's doing classic. So that's just the bodybuilders. Of course, we have like a total of 37. No, not on the bodybuilding team. What we do as bodybuilders that you don't have to do is bring our own sheets and towels that are dark, because when we get spray tanned, which I'm super white right now, but when we get spray tanned,
you're darker than me.
Then it will
stain the sheets.
Yeah. And so we don't do that to hotels.
I mean, you can. You just get charged.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Ridiculous amount, I'm sure.
Can you show me what else you brought? For like food and hair stuff and like skin stuff or whatever you're willing to show me.
If you're interested, you can pan over to my makeup little station over there.
I would love to.
My food's curry with my nutrition coach.
That makes sense. So the majority of bodybuilders will not share their prep week food with you, and don't be mean about that.
Yeah.
That's like how they win. So we've got some vegan makeup.
Yep.
And some lashes.
And then my bag over
Oh my gosh, I could never wear lashes like that. I lashes one time for my 2 times from bodybuilding shows. And first I thought I looked like a hooker. Everybody else thought I looked like a hooker. Well, that's, I guess, what stigma we get.
It's stage. I mean, otherwise you have no face.
The rice maker I did not bring, so that's
I don't ever have to rely on a microwave. And I don't like microwaves anyway.
Do we have a microwave in this room?
No, that's why everyone has to go to the suite. to be able to use the one.
Oh gosh,
the kitchen.
Oh, that's
yeah. So I just travel with that, which is super easy and light. I mean, you can open my fridge and like take a shot. You can see what my food is for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's all marked, but I mean, like it's all frozen. I have to freeze it, and it fills a half of a suitcase, just to give people an idea.
Frozen food.
Yep.
So as a bodybuilder, this is what you eat.
Yeah.
There's frozen food.
And it's marked for each day, and it's different foods. So it's really quite the prep work to have to cook in advance and find the ingredients and have it all measured. And it's 3 different meals. Yeah.
Yeah, that really checks out. I remember I was freaking out when I was traveling, and I was driving. I was only driving like 2.5 hours for each of my bodybuilding shows. And I was traveling with a kind of, well, closed suitcase looks like this. So I had a closed suitcase and I had a food suitcase.
Yeah, and then
food backpack. This backpack is very legendary. So
it is. And that bodybuilding vegan patch is from One to Save Many, which funds, like, was it 50 different nonprofit animal sanctuaries and rescues?
Nice.
Yep, that one. So yeah,
it's really badass backpack.
Yeah, kind of military style.
One like that in bodybuilding. It looks like military almost.
Yeah. And then we have our little, like, well, it's put away for now, but the little shiwi, because
what's a shiwi?
When you get spray tanned, if you ever see a bodybuilder with green on them, that's urine. So when you're female, you have this, and people who hike.
Oh, a cup.
Yeah. But they call it pee, right?
I did not know that. And we all, like, everybody was wondering, why do we have a fuckload of Dixie cups in the bathroom? Who was not a bodybuilder. Every competitor knew. And before they went to pee, they grabbed a Dixie cup. And then when they squatted, the Dixie cup was right here. I'm sorry for like a visual, but that's literally how you do it to not get streaks over your tan.
And that's actually an excellent idea. If I ever forget mine, to puncture a hole in the bottom of a.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's how I used to do it before I knew. Because I thought when you get spray tan, your organizer just provides you with Dixie cups. But turns out, no, not everybody does. So I was like, okay, I can just cut the bottom of a water bottle and stick it upside down and pee in it with the lid closed. And I can just pour that stuff.
When I flew, because I was drinking upwards of like almost 2 gallons a day, that's what I do. And so I was getting up every 40 minutes, which is awesome for the circulation, but a little bit of an ordeal when you're wearing compression hose and you have a zipper and you have to like use a shiwi. It's like a big deal in the bathroom. People must wonder, what is she doing in there for so long and so often? It's part of the process for traveling. See all my water in there?
Yeah. I want to see your water. I want to know why you're drinking that water and not the other kind of water.
Okay. Well, because I like
nobody cares. We're just looking at the water.
So, yep. 2 gallons. So normally, you know, I have about just under 2 or about 2 a day. Decreasing that right now. It's already getting real because I'm down to 1 gallon and thirsty.
What's the point of that versus like any other kind of water, electrolytes?
Yeah, good question. So I, at home, use something that's called Air Water Life, which is like a Kangen machine. And it is an ionized. And so it's ionized, it's alkalinized. It has like, I don't know, 8 different filters on it. And this, when I travel, it has the ionized hydration and a 9.5 pH. Mm-hmm. So it's just easier on the system. It's easier to like have purified water versus nasty tap water that has chlorine and fluoride and a bunch of chemicals that I don't want to consume that. So yeah, it's worth it. And I vote with my dollars. That's how I always think, is like, if I can shift my money focus to organic farming, regenerative farming, healthy water, then an environmental working group has a nice website if you want to test your local water, or rather put in your zip code to find out what they have found in your local water. That's very helpful.
That's very useful. I have a really nice tip for those who don't have money for any of this. So back home, I grew up in Russia. We always have a pitcher of water on the countertop that is not covered. So it does not have a lid. So it's either a big mason jar or a big pitcher. And it's for everybody who wants to drink water throughout the day. We don't keep the water in the fridge. We don't drink ice water. We're Europeans. We don't do anything with ice. So keep everything on the countertop. And because it is open, not enclosed, no lid, the chlorine evaporates. So you can get rid of chlorine just by having water sit on your tabletop for a couple hours. And that's what I normally do.
The U.S. government, you can all Google search fluoride. So we won't talk about that, but it is something to know. And a neurotoxin. So, and because I'm all about biohacking and being a licensed mental health counselor and certifications and functional medicine for mental health, all those things matter to me. Neuro health.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
What advice do you have for people who are thinking of getting into bodybuilding and they think they're kind of like too big, too old, too something, too tall, too small, too some, like not good enough?
They're just a little bit intimidated by it, or
yeah.
I think that if that's a passion, then someone needs to just go for it and do it. I mean, if they want to put in the time, then just getting on stage, there's no failure in that.
How long before you get on stage your first time would you recommend?
It depends on each person. See, I had some guy when I was 45 tell me, "Oh, you should go compete." And I'm like, "And what?" And he said, "Bodybuilding." And it stuck in my head. So I hired the nutrition coach, the posing coach, my trainer. 5 months later, I stepped on stage and I got my pro card. Now that's very not normal, typical. But I mean, I also was like, I'm going to follow everything to a T. I'm going to do it. And so if you have the mindset to do that and train and be consistent, because that's really what bodybuilding is all about, is consistency.
That's what any sport is about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Being consistent.
But I think when you have to dial in like all your nutritional components,
bodybuilding is the definition of consistent.
Top. Yeah. Like, I mean,
there's nothing harder than that.
Yeah. Because I think everyone, like, if they want to be whatever sport, right? You just do that X number of days a week or hours a week. But like when you have to also incorporate in that nutrition and be on point and miss out on parties or missing out at the restaurant.
The social stuff is the hardest, honestly. Just like I could not take, when I had to eat per meal plan, 6.5 days a week, that was fine. But when I knew if I went to that birthday party, I would like eat that cake and drink that champagne. So I wouldn't go.
Yeah.
That was the hardest. Or just realizing, okay, I have to go.
Yeah.
Because my friends will be pissed and like I don't go anywhere because I'm just like locking myself in my apartment in the gym until the competition. This is not good for my mental health, but so I have to go. But what do I do about the food? Like, am I gonna break? It's it's
tough.
So tough.
It's tough.
Even and thinking about it now, it's like And then when we're reintroduced to other foods that we don't normally eat, it's kind of like the brain plays games and it wants you to, eat more. Dopamine comes. And so I got fat so quickly after my bikini show.
That it's
130 to 165 over like 4 months.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. And it's like,
it was crazy.
It's to tell the brain like, this is not like famine. Like you will be able to have this food again. And you don't have to eat the whole thing because the brain tries to trick, trying to be in survival and whatever.
Yeah.
So, but that's not healthy, right? Like an integration back into eating is much healthier in that post-competition time.
Yeah. So what are the primary things that you do after you've competed, not to go insane? Like if this is your last competition of the season, you don't have any other competition to go for to keep dieting or keep you like, for me, the hardest thing was there's nothing else on the radar for the next 6 months.
Yeah.
how do I not just go rogue, go crazy with all of the vices that I can finally do because there's no reason to keep myself disciplined.
So since I've been doing this since 2018, the one thing I've realized again is like that this is not of limited quantity. This isn't like a scarce commodity. I'm never going to have it again. The brain really plays a trick. When I do eat simple carbs, breads, or like granola is a big one because that one has the fat and sugar.
The fat, yeah.
And the brain
People don't
goes
think
crazy
about the fat and granola. They just think it's the oats.
Oh my gosh. Oh, and the sugars are
it's
crazy.
cooked with a bunch of sugars and refined fats. Normally,
So that is like, it makes me feel sick. Like it literally will create like bloat and then inflammation. My joints will hurt. And I've recently shifted off from cane sugar and onto coconut, and I feel better if I'm going to be making something with that. But I really try to stay with whole foods. And when I don't, then my body tells me, like my skin will tell me, my skin will react to sugars. Yeah. Just kind of like when I became vegan, when I reintroduced the organic eggs, I got rosacea. When I had organic dairy, I got hormonal chin and jawline acne. So like body tells the story, right? And if we don't listen to it.
Body knows better.
Yeah.
What do you tell to people who are like, oh, my body tells me I need to eat fish. Like I feel like I need to eat, like if the kid feels like they need to really like eat this plant, this grass. Her 2-year-old was putting like plants with roots and soil in her mouth. And she was like, yeah, maybe she needs those nutrients. And it wasn't like a lot.
Okay, but not like pica, that's like a nutrient deficiency type.
But I was like, soil? Like that's, she could get some like diseases from that. Right. I wouldn't really say
microbes in there.
She needs that if she's doing it, especially if she's like, 3 or 4.
Mm-hmm.
But some humans who are older, they still claim stuff like, I just really feel like my body feels like it needs fish, like it needs eggs, like without steak, or my mom says like without butter, like without just have like 1 slice of butter every morning, and she has to tell me about it. I don't know why. Like I've been vegan 8 years. She's like, yeah, I don't eat much butter, but I just have to eat this slice. And I'm like, yeah, Mom, you can stop talking to me about butter. Thanks very much.
Yeah. And that's the difference between ethical vegans, who are doing this as much or more for animals and animal welfare, right? Because people can be really sold on the health aspects, which far supersede all the other options. But if they don't have it in their heart to know that like, oh, well, I just eat 1 fish a year or whatever. But okay, how many hundreds, thousands of fish were caught in that net, let alone maybe some dolphins, sea turtles, whatever. Right. They're not thinking about that. They're just like, oh, I just have my fish every once in a while, Right. And there's a reason why we don't, take kids to the slaughterhouse for the field trips. You know what I mean? Let's go to the pumpkin patch.
I think we should. At the because I think we should.
But we're not going to go to the slaughterhouse to see where our beef for dinner comes from.
I think we should take kids to the slaughterhouse because I think
right?
Because I think most kids don't.
People won't.
Oh, okay.
That's my point.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know. I didn't get it. I didn't get it at all.
No, that's my point. I'm sure the adults, most all the adults don't go and witness that. Unfortunately, my former late in-laws had, when I was over there, unfortunately slaughtered one of the cows that I was really attached to.
You told me that.
And so, yeah, it's a real deal. And I had to leave the property because they didn't feed the cow for a day or 2, and then would entice it with some hay to come to the fence. And the man with his white butcher slicked up.
Why is it white?
I don't know. Maybe to know that it's going to be washed off. I don't know. He and his partner had heard, do not shoot the animal in the head until Shelli's off the property. And no, they didn't wait. And my now ex-husband said he saw it in the rearview mirror, but I couldn't stay the night there. I was traumatized. The fact that his name was backwards. He was born backwards, and he had a little pug nose. He was a cute little cow. And every time I'd come to the property to come visit, all the cows would come to me. They knew that at the time I was vegetarian, not even vegan. But my point being is like, when people know the real deal, and my in-laws would stay in the house when Butcher Man would come, and Butcher Man looked like a sociopath to me. Like, he just, you know, like very ashen.
Only
very,
makes sense.
How could you, right?
Yeah,
right.
I don't
and
know.
then like we came back after all of it was said and done, and the chickens were eating little bits of the dead cow material on the ground. It was
Shelli, I need to
disgusting.
sleep tonight.
But I'm just telling
I
you,
asked
like,
you this question.
I unfortunately have like this kind of firsthand experience around that whole slaughter thing, and even the family raised cow farms. Sorry, if you're not there watching the animal,
you're probably still buying it from the store.
Right?
So here you go.
It's just in a pretty package in the store. It looks all
Somebody
clean.
killed it for you. Congratulations.
I don't know.
You deserve to hear this. If you're vegan, just hit a like and you can exit this video right now.
I don't know. I mean, we just don't talk about it openly, right? And like,
I do. You do.
No, but I think in the general public who eat their meat at the restaurant or they're going to the grocery store.
I think enough of the vegans are starting to get annoying enough that people are starting to get.
But they don't want to talk about it. They don't want to talk about it.
You know what drove me crazy?
They probably turned this off by now.
What drove me crazy is, so I was in Russia this summer. My mom is sick and I had to go and help her out and help dad out. And I joined the powerlifting gym and I went to the powerlifting retreat with the whole federation from my region. There is an abundance of vegan proteins in Russian stores.
Oh, good.
There's tofu, there's fake meat, there's seitan, there's soy cheese, Parmesan style, very good. There are organic options. There are cheaper options. There are options. Okay, there's lots of options. Guess how many vegan proteins I had at the party?
How many?
Halfway through the party, people are talking about why I'm not eating. And I'm like, I'm eating. I'm having like the crust of this pizza. I'm great. Like, I'll eat in the evening when I get home. They're like, no, like eat food, like eat pizza, the whole thing. Eat cheese, eat meat. We've cooked all this meat. There's this meat, there's that meat. There's like veal, there's beef, there's pork, there is blah, there is sliders, there is, I don't know. And I'm like, I don't eat dead things. I've had vegetables. I would prefer tofu, like soy stuff is good. So I didn't want to like throw anything that would make them feel like shit.
Sure.
Because I'm just barely getting to know these people.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, we all have to do that.
Right. And I really vibe with them.
Yes.
The majority of them are power lifters. There's some bodybuilders, but the majority of them are strength athletes. They're very sweet. They're very positive. They are just getting to know me. The only thing they knew was my name. And that I'm from the US. Which could or could not raise concerns in Russia at this time. I don't know.
Yeah.
And if they checked my Instagram, they probably knew I was vegan, but probably half of them thought that cheese was cool.
Oh, like you're vegetarian or something.
The majority of Russians read those equally.
Yeah.
And then I had like an hour-long conversation / discussion / debate with my dad's hip surgery doctor at the end of this whole thing before we left. Just drinking cognac and talking about how he grew up in Georgia. And when he sees a bull, he is like, his eyes get filled with blood and he feels an urge to kill the bull. And when he kills a bull, he feels an urge to drink its blood and something like that. Something like he's an animal and he's like such a power lifter that like he's equipped. He's like, oh, he's such an animal. He's so
a little
strong.
Bit of toxic masculinity.
And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, I don't know, if somebody put a cow or a chicken or like an apple in front of me or like a bread, I wonder what I would pet and what I would play with and who I would play with and who I would want to eat. It was interesting how we never saw each other. Like you and I went out to see each other and we're like, yeah, I kind of agree. And I wonder how veganism comes across to the rest of the world, where they're like, yes, sheep die. Or like in India, like cow is sacred. No, don't touch the cow. Or like, how do we develop such a, what is it,
Speciesism. Yeah.
Yeah, how do we
like
develop
Elwood's
such a speciesism?
dog farm.
Exactly.
Have you guys tried Elwood's dogs?
Yeah.
They can ship them to you, I think.
Exactly. I've had a collaboration with them. Thank you for mentioning that, Shelli.
Yes.
Yeah. I do actually support this organic dog farm that I think is really changing the course of farming animals. So you should check them at.
Maybe you put a link in or something.
I should put the link in the description. Yeah. You know what? And you guys can have 10% of the organic dog meat. And you know, Shelli loves organic, and
I'm all about organic.
Exactly. And I've done a collaboration with them, so you should just check it in the description. I think this is the most popular reel that I've ever made. It's just me flexing and advertising their dog meat.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I have my husky in the background.
Oh, I missed it.
And people have the most mean comments. Like,
I bet.
People are like wishing me to die.
I bet.
Because I have a husky and the Vishla in the video. And I'm saying you can have like husky jerky and I think they had Corky pork chops style or something like that.
Right.
I don't know if they had anything Vishla, but they have different breeds of dogs that you can just check out on their website if you eat meat.
Yeah.
So
check it out.
Very inclusive channel here. Yay. Great
Thank
job. That was great. That was great.
Just a little settle into it. Okay, so I did that podcast with plant-based athlete, and I was asked about that, like body dysmorphia. The longer I do this, the less I have that, because I see the benefits of, having fat back in my face. It makes me look younger than when I'm all like leaned out.
Yep. When you're lean, your wrinkles show more.
Right. And so there's benefits to both, like as far as the visuals, but I don't get hung up on that. Like, oh, I can see my quad splits. And now when I go back to the, healthier, long sustaining weight, then that disappears, right? And so,
but you stop seeing your veins,
right? And I don't.
So what do you do
I don't care about the veins, right? Some people are like, "Oh my gosh, they're so pretty." Yeah, not so much to me, but I do like. It reminds me of Linda Hamilton in Terminator. When I saw her way back when, I was like, "Oh, her arms are Madonna, like in the '90s." Oh my God, her arms. So I love having that kind of cut, but I don't love the veins, and you can't have both worlds. So
I love the veins. I love both.
Coming back into health. I mean, I'm healthy now. Let's be real. Like, I'm going to be 52 in April. I'm still
Can you believe this woman is 52?
Oh, thank you. But I mean, I'm ovulating, but I really do think that
like, we look like sisters, let's be honest.
Oh, you're cute.
I look like an older sister. Like an older, fatter, uglier sister.
No, stop. But the point is that I still have my period on time. It's never, ever been.
Even now?
Yes, even now.
You're the only bodybuilder that I know.
Yeah.
Who does not have their period drop during prep.
Whole Foods vegan food will carry you through.
I don't
Maddie's
know
the same.
that.
Maddie McConnell's the same.
Then I'm going to meet her and I'm going to know two bodybuilders.
Yeah. Yes, we both had our period at the same time.
I'll have to talk to Alice and Nadej and other girls and Tiffany.
Well, okay, again, it's Whole Foods.
Geez.
Whole Foods. I'm not eating junk. I'm not going and getting my Boca burgers and all that. I apologize if that offends people about the junk.
What are your main protein sources then?
Like it's tempeh, my homemade seitan.
Okay.
And I bring the flour in from France, from Amazon, because I do not trust the U.S. and the whole GMOs and Monsanto and all that.
Maybe that's why Angelina is so jacked, because Angelina is from France.
Yeah. And people don't have problems when they're gluten intolerant to go over and travel to Europe and eat the wheat there, because they use red wheat here in the United States. They do not.
Is that why?
That's one. The other is genetically modified GMOs, right? So, which is pervasive. And so anyway,
Okay,
I
so
make
tempeh and then your seitan and tofu probably?
No, not so
Not
much.
really?
I really like fermented tofu, which is
what's it called? What's the brand?
which is tempeh, and Light Life. Light Life is my brand.
I like Light Life. I mainly eat. You're gonna call me a junk food vegan?
No,
I
do whatever.
I eat Light Life hot dog. Eve's. Anything.
Yeah.
Eve's Canadian bacon. Eve's cold cuts. Bologna. Eve's bologna rocks. Eve's turkey rocks. No digestive problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
impossible. Beyond.
Yeah.
Good taste.
Yeah.
Digestive problems after.
I don't know. I just, that's probably the thing that's shifted me into whole foods plant-based vegan is that I notice a difference in my body as we age. Get ready when you eat sugars. That's why older people are like, why don't you like the chocolate cake that I used to? It's because it makes your joints hurt. And it's because the inflammation,
I don't get the joints
or it can create, like I said, the skin issues, the gut issues, the joints, the just water retention, the gas, the bloat, like all those things. So I start to pay attention to it and I'm like, it's not so much worth it anymore. Yeah. Or if it is, it's a conscious choice, right? Yeah. So that's why, to answer your question, it's probably easier for me to transition and not just lose my mind. But my brain at the very start will try to trick me because, again, the dopamine is like more, more, more. So
yeah, the brain's not always smarter than you.
No. You have to say it's brain, not a limited quantity. It's going to be around.
Your software is older.
Mm-hmm.
Your hardware and your software is not as advanced as you think it is. So trust it with a grain of salt.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the labs will reflect. That's the other way to track
Oh gosh, if more people in the US were doing labs, people in Russia do labs all the time.
I do mine like 2-3 times a year. My naturopath has like shifted her diet based on me coming off from being vegetarian into vegan. She's like, whoa, look at the cholesterol drop. Whoa, look at how you've got like all these good numbers. So that's another reinforcing factor.
Yeah. I think more people need to be encouraged to do their preventive care via labs.
Yeah.
What else do you do for preventive care?
I mean, I was into Vivu for a while. I have a test strip around here where you could do your own lab at home, peeing on the stick,
I have this similar thing for Bionic Health, and you guys can probably check a discount in the description. If I still have it, I should still have it. They're based out of North Carolina, and they just offer affordable labs that are relevant to your longevity.
Nice.
Yeah. They used to just do that in North Carolina, Virginia, and South Carolina, but I think they've expanded by the time this video comes out. And I do support the easy way they can check your longevity journey.
I love that.
With just at home
test
kit.
Yeah.
They just ship your kit and then you ship it back, awesome. And it's awesome. Yeah.
And my Whoop band that I wear.
I used to have a Whoop. Which
this is 4.0.
Okay. I used to have a 3.0. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And I mean, if you want some statistical analysis that's comparative over time, this is the bomb. Like, I have to say,
I agree.
Like it's the one
I used to have it during bodybuilding.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not wearing it now, but my Apple Watch, it also is a great way to, and it helps.
But less so athletically.
Yeah. Less so. I mean, it tracks like steps, whereas this one doesn't.
And sleep.
But this has got everything. This one has sleep, recovery, and strain.
Okay. Yeah. That's my thing. My sleep has always been, I thought, fine, and my recovery, I thought, was fine. But my strain was always like extra high when I was rolling into the COVID bodybuilding spring, and everything got canceled, so I didn't end up bodybuilding. But I was on prep, and my strain was like 1.5 times, 2 times of what the average was supposed to be for like my age and my activity type. So what do you think of your stats? What, you don't have to share your stats.
So
but what
that's good.
I mean, you
I did find out, and I can give a coupon code if people are interested in a discount, a free month. But
how about you send me a link and I'll put it in the description of this video, because we don't know the code right now.
No, not right now.
Yeah.
But this is how I determined I had athlete-induced bradycardia, because my heart rate goes to like 33 beats per minute when I'm sleeping. When I'm sitting here, like,
my heart rate is
kind of like,
I get it.
Yeah, it's super low. And then I did a sleep study and like I'm all good. But it also determined my oxygen levels were low for a while. And that was because of a stress situation. Yes. So then I went into my doctor's office and she had the oximeter and it was like, ooh, you're at like 85% oxygen saturation.
I remember you telling me that.
Right? So I did a lot of deep breathing. I went to hot yoga. Those are the main things. I started acupuncture, restarted it again, and then that corrected itself. But in any case, these biometrics are crazy and helpful, and it's made it a goal for increasing my sleep, because I previously was like 5-6 hours a night. This motivates me to get to like 7, which is so important for recovery for muscles. So anyway, we could do 9
to 10 hours a day.
I know, you're so lucky. You're so lucky. But
I don't have kids yet. Don't worry, I'll have kids soon, and like it will all change. And I will tell you about all the good times that I used to have. And
the one thing that they're finding with long sleepers, though, is that sometimes the body's not getting enough restorative sleep, so that's why the duration is lengthened. So anyway, we'll find out.
Surprised. I have a dog. Anyway, she like walks over me.
Yes,
literally.
And they say there's even a question in this journal about, I believe it's in this one, about the pets, because pets do not let us sleep as soundly at night. So anyway, we could go on into a whole other segment about like those things, but these are a few that come to mind.
It makes sense. Yeah. Let's wrap this.
Yeah. We've had a lot of chats. I hope you break this up into multiple.
I will not.
Oh, great.
Anyways.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Here we go. On to competition this weekend.
Say your name again so I don't butcher it.
Oh, Shelli Beecher-Seitzler.
And Katya. Cheers. Until another video.